Sarah, no last name, just the girl who has memorized every single heartbeat this house has ever had before the sun rises. The exact second the fridge kicks on at 5:12, the soft sigh the pipes make at 5:27, the way the third stair always creaks like it's announcing royalty even when no one is on it. The precise shade of peach the east window turns at 5:53, stands barefoot in Mark's kitchen at 5:58 a.m. on the first full morning of being 18, drowning in the oversized navy hoodie he left on the porch swing last winter when she forgot hers on purpose. The one she has slept in exactly 197 nights in a row, the one she washed at 3:03 a.m. with shaking hands and half a bottle of his detergent so it would smell like him and not like her own terrified hope. Hair still wild from restless sleep, cheeks and nose and fingertips pink from the 3-block walk through 38-degree air, heart beating so violently she's convinced the windows are vibrating in sympathy. The house is wrapped in that perfect pre-dawn hush that only exists in the minutes when the world forgets to be loud. The sky outside is shifting from deep indigo to bruised violet to the softest peach, like the universe itself is blushing for what's about to happen. The porch light is still on. He never remembers to turn it off, and she has never once reminded him because she likes the way it feels like a lighthouse, guiding her home. Sunrise is just starting to leak pale gold through the east window, painting the counter, the kettle, the chipped navy mug in the drying rack, the toes of her gray avocado print socks in watercolor light. The coffee maker is already gurgling its familiar morning song because she started the good beans, the ones he hides behind the oatmeal like contraband, the second she walked in. The spare key under the fake rock worked exactly like it has since she was 9 and lost her key in an epic water balloon apocalypse. She let herself in at 5:41, toes already freezing on the welcome mat, called his name once in the foyer, barely a breath, once at the foot of the stairs, a little louder, once outside his bedroom door, almost desperate, voice cracking on the second syllable, then gave up and came straight here because this kitchen has always been the safest room on planet Earth and because she needed to be surrounded by the smell of coffee and cedar and him while she figured out how to say the thing that has lived behind her teeth for 731 days, 14 hours, and 52 minutes. So she started coffee. She found the big mugs, the navy one with the chip she always steals and the plain white one he always uses. She stood at the exact spot by the sink where the light hits just right and watched the sky turn from bruise to peach to molten gold and waited for the sun to rise high enough to lend her its courage and for the coffee to finish, so her hands would have something to do that wasn't shaking. Then she heard it, the soft thump of feet hitting the floor upstairs, the creak of the old bed frame, the sleepy shuffle down the hall, the familiar pause on the landing where he always stops to listen for intruders that have never once been anyone but her. The third stair creaking exactly on schedule, like it's announcing her coronation. Mark appears in the doorway, like a dream that finally decided to stay. Hair sticking up in every possible direction, like an angry hedgehog who lost a fight with a pillow. Gray t-shirt twisted and wrinkled from sleep. One sleeve pushed higher than the other. Flannel pajama pants riding low on his hips and slightly twisted like he pulled them on in the dark 6 hours ago. Green-gray eyes squinting against the early light, still puffy with sleep. Bare feet, voice still gravel rough and half gone and unfairly perfect. He stops dead when he sees her, one hand frozen on the doorframe, like the universe just hit pause. Sarah. The word comes out cracked and soft and disbelieving, like he's not sure he's awake or if this is the best hallucination he's ever had. He rubs both hands over his face, drags them through his hair, leaves it even messier, blinks 3 times like he's trying to reboot reality itself. Why are you in my kitchen? Jesus, it's not even 6 a.m. The sun's barely up. Are you okay? She turns slowly, both hands still wrapped around the warm mug like it's the only thing keeping her tethered to the planet, cheeks burning brighter than the sunrise painting the cabinets behind her, avocado socks suddenly feeling ridiculous and perfect all at once. I just turned 18, she says, voice soft but steady, the words finally free after 731 days, 14 hours, and 53 minutes in captivity. And I woke up at 4:47 a.m., knowing that if I didn't see you before the world got loud, I was going to lose my nerve forever and spend the rest of my life wondering what would have happened if I'd been brave at dawn. So I walked over in the dark with cold toes and morning air sharp in my lungs and let myself in with the key that's been under the fake rock since I was 9. I called your name 3 times. Soft, because I didn't want to scare you awake. And when you didn't answer, I came here because this kitchen has always been where the real conversations happen, Where you made me hot chocolate when I was 12 and crying. Where you taught me how to flip pancakes when I was 14. Where you let me fall asleep on your couch at 16 and covered me with the blanket that still smells like this exact room. I started the good coffee because my hands needed something to do, and because I wanted the house to smell like you when you found me. And I stood right here in this exact square of sunrise and waited for the sun to come up high enough to make me brave enough to say what I came here to say. Mark leans against the doorframe, like his legs suddenly forgot their one job, eyes wide and soft and completely undone. You could have called, he whispers, but there's zero scolding in it. Just wonder, like he's been dreaming of this exact impossible morning since the night she fell asleep on his couch at 16, and he sat awake, counting her breaths and praying for a future where mornings like this were allowed. I know, she says, stepping closer, mug still clutched between them like a tiny shield, avocado toes curling against the cold tile. But calling felt too small, and texting felt wrong, and waiting until a reasonable hour felt like another form of hiding. This felt important. Like the kind of important that needs cold toes on your kitchen tile and sunrise light turning the coffee gold and the way this kitchen smells at 6 a.m. when the whole world is still asleep and the porch light is still on like it's been waiting for me too. Like the kind of important that needed to happen before another single heartbeat went by where I had to pretend I'm still okay with just being the girl who borrows your hoodies and falls asleep on your couch and leaves with a heart that's been yours since the day I turned 16. The kitchen goes perfectly quiet. Not awkward, just full, humming, golden, sacred, sunrise blessed. Mark crosses the room in 5 slow, deliberate steps, bare feet silent on the cold tile, eyes never once leaving hers, pulse visible in his throat like it's trying to sprint straight into her hands. He stops just close enough that she can see the sleep creases on his cheek, the tiny scar above his eyebrow from the skateboard incident when she was 14. The exact moment his eyes go soft and dark and completely, beautifully shattered. Sarah, he says, voice scraped raw with every morning he's ever woken up without her in this kitchen. Come here, please. She sets the mug down with trembling hands. It clinks softly against the counter like the starting gun of the rest of their lives. He meets her the rest of the way. His hands slide to her waist like they were custom-made for the exact curve of her under that hoodie. Her arms loop around his neck like they've been practicing in secret for years. The kiss is soft, slow, sunrise-lit, coffee-scented, inevitable, and perfect. Like every quiet morning they've ever shared was just rehearsal for this one. Like the universe held its breath for 2 years and finally exhaled. When they finally pull apart, barely an inch, foreheads still touching, breathing the same coffee and dawn air, he whispers against her lips, voice shaking, "Stay for breakfast! Stay for every breakfast! Stay for every sunrise! Stay!" She answers by kissing him again. Sarah winks at the camera, phone propped on the kitchen counter where it's been recording since 5:57 a.m., red light glowing steady, hoodie sleeves swallowing her hands, sunrise spilling peach and rose and molten gold across both of them. His hands finally on her waist like they were born. For this exact moment, coffee still gurgling its approval, the chipped navy mug waiting patiently for both of them, the porch light still burning outside like it knows its job is done. And that's the full, longer, uncut, heart-exploding, 2-year wait, 5:58 a.m., sunrise, cold toes, spare key under the fake rock, coffee before words, porch light still on, hoodie that never has to be returned, avocado socks, third stair creaking, good beans hidden behind the oatmeal story of the morning I turned 18 and finally stood exactly where I belonged before the world even woke up. Some conversations don't need daylight. They just need the quiet of a kitchen that has known your heartbeat by name since you were 7 years old. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment, the earliest you ever said the biggest thing and changed the entire trajectory of your life. Just turned 18, just made him coffee at dawn. And he finally kissed me awake forever.